One person is dead at a Louisville business that just recently suffered a similar tragedy. We're investigating what happened this time.
The computer models are not just saying rain, they're saying a ton of rain potential here in the next 7 days. I'm going to tell you when to expect the heaviest in your area and how much next.
And all they was worrying about is if they were going to be short.
The girlfriend of a man fatally shot by police calls out LMPD for a lack of compassion.
Arson karma caught on camera. See who police want for trying to burn down a local building.
It's back to school for JCPS. We'll tell you how some parents and students are getting ready tonight for the big day.
We begin tonight with a WDRB News alert. Right now, LMPD officers are at the scene of a shooting where there are multiple victims.
The scene is along West Kentucky Street near Garland Avenue. This is in the Parkland neighborhood, and MetroSafe tells us there are at least 4 victims in this shooting.
It's not yet clear just how serious their injuries are or exactly what led up to the violence. We have a crew headed to the scene right now. We'll bring you more details as we get them.
Another story we're following tonight. A worker is dead after an accident at a cement factory.
WDRB's Josh Breslow live at the Cemex Cosmos cement plant on Dixie Highway where this happened. And Josh, we understand there's been a history of problems there.
Well, it's pretty calm out here right now. LMPD releasing few details about exactly what happened, but they do say this was a workplace accident and the victim, the man killed, is a man. Now take a look at this video from earlier today. Police were called out to the Cemex Cosmos cement plant on Dixie Highway around 6:45 tonight. When they arrived, officers say a man in his 30s or 40s was already dead. No one else was injured. Investigators have not said where on the facility this actually happened, just again that it is considered to be a workplace accident. Here's how an officer describes the apparent cause of that accident.
It appears to be a pulley system mechanical failure, and again, that's all preliminary until Louisville Metro Police Homicide investigates to get a more detailed account of exactly what happened.
Back in April, Cosmos Cement pleaded guilty to a federal charge of violating workplace safety standards. The company was ordered to pay more than $200,000 in penalties for the 2014 death of a contract worker at the same plant. That worker fell to his death after he apparently opened an elevator door when the elevator was not there. As of right now, police have not said if they believe this accident today could have been prevented. That, of course, remains under investigation. As for the man killed, his name has not been released. But again, LMPD does say he is a man in his 30s or 40s. Live in Louisville, Josh Breslow, WDRB News.
Josh, thank you. New information is being released tonight about the man who was shot and killed by 2 LMPD officers.
The coroner's office confirms 57-year-old Darnell Wicker died of multiple gunshot wounds to the torso. And WDRB's Carl Mann joins us now and explains witnesses who saw how Wicker was killed have a lot of concerns tonight.
Yeah, 3 people, one of them being his longtime girlfriend, was right there as this all went down. And there's still more questions and answers surrounding the shooting. The coroner's not releasing how many times the 57-year-old man was shot. Darnell Wicker's longtime girlfriend and her 2 kids who witnessed the shooting sat down to speak candidly on this case.
What just happened? Why did this happen so quickly?
The scene is still fresh in their memory.
Drop your weapons. Pow, 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 pow. He had no chance to drop a weapon.
For 22 years, Anita Louise Jones said she dated Darnell Wicker. The final moments of his life came after Jones asked Wicker to leave her apartment early Monday morning. When Wicker didn't budge, Jones had her daughter call 911.
I made him aware that he did have a knife and a saw in his hands.
What took place next? Well, the family called it a whirlwind.
And that's when he pushed me on the side. Ma'am, get out of the way, get out of the way. They just shot him, they just shot him, they just shot him.
Anita Louise's son, Arthur, said he was the only one who got up close to Wicker after he had been shot. Again, police called for an ambulance, but they said that is all they could do.
We can't do anything, okay? We just have to leave everything how it is, okay? I'm sorry, okay?
You still could have gave him some type of help. Even if it didn't work, you could have put forth some kind of effort.
While all 3 are left second-guessing the situation, police are also left on the hunt for answers.
As you look at these videos, you will no doubt have questions. As I looked at the videos, I have questions.
The ongoing investigation will look to see if the 2 officers who pulled the trigger followed protocol.
Drop the knife! Drop!
Now, police confirmed Darnell Wicker died on scene and was handcuffed after being shot. From the family's account, they say it took an ambulance at least 20 minutes to get on scene. By that time, it was already too late.
Carl, how did these witnesses describe what exactly Wicker was doing, how he was moving right before police shot him?
Well, all three said that he did not lunge at police. He didn't threaten them with the saw and the knife that he had. Police are saying otherwise. The body camera footage isn't clear enough to give away any answers, but how Wicker acted or moved leading up to the shooting, it's going to be a real key piece to this investigation.
All right. Thank you, Carl Mann, tonight. Lindsay.
All right, David, 100,000 students heading back to class tomorrow. JCPS students, of course, and I know you're tracking some thunderstorms.
We saw some today, and I think you're going to get the sense from today of what I think we're going to see in the next couple days, and that is some pop-up thunderstorms here that can potentially produce some locally heavy rain. Looking at some of the numbers here, downtown Louisville, 0.05 of an inch. However, the West End got a ½ inch, Shively 0.78. So there's variation within the rain, and really when you look around our area, notice southern Lawrence County caught nearly 2 inches of rain. The northern Grayson, southern part of Breckenridge, 1.5 inches. As we look right now, we're seeing a real downward trend in the thunderstorms from Brownstown through Seymour or just north of French Lick. You're still probably seeing some lightning strikes, and really the heaviest right now is south of Huntingburg, Indiana. This just some leftover light rain from Litchfield through Magnolia, and rain right now with a couple rumbles of thunder north of Campbellsville, but that is also pulsing downward, as is really everything. As we look right now at our temperature, currently coming in at 81 degrees, dew point 73, and boy, it is still sticky out there. And welcome back to school tomorrow. Scott County, Indiana goes back. Seymour, Indiana, you're back in school tomorrow. And also Meade, Carroll, Washington, Henry, JCPS back in school tomorrow. Bullitt, Trimble, Christian Academy, and Shelby County go back to school. And what I'm thinking is as the kids go out to the bus stop, 77 by noon, we're 83 with a 30%. And parents, the kids might need maybe a light umbrella or a little rain gear afternoon. 40% chance of thunderstorms. Southern Indiana has the best chance of seeing those storms.
All right, thank you, Mark. An update now to our WDRB News Alert. Louisville police investigating after 4 people are shot.
We want to show you here, this is a live look at the scene. This is along West Kentucky Street near Garland Avenue. This is happening in the Parkland neighborhood. MetroSafe tells us there are at least 4 victims in this shooting. We still don't know how serious the injuries are or what exactly led up to the violence. Our crew is there, but they are waiting to get an update from LMPD. As soon as we have some new information, we will pass that along to you.
A YMCA worker is fired after allegedly secretly recording a co-worker while she was changing. The court records say Jared Richardson right there hid a cell phone in some boxes and watched the feed from a different room at the Corridon Y. When a woman tried to remove the phone, she says Richardson chased her to the main lobby, attacked her for the phone, and ran away. Police say Richardson destroyed the phone and threw it in a sinkhole. He's charged with voyeurism, obstruction of justice, and battery.
Refusing to come out of a Louisville home for 2.5 hours. That's how long a standoff in the Portland neighborhood lasted this afternoon. The standoff started around 1:30 today inside of a home on 25th and Rowan Streets. LMPD says it started when officers from Oldham County tried arresting a woman on an escape charge. When she wouldn't come out of the home, SWAT officers were called. Police were eventually able to arrest her later on in the afternoon. No one was hurt.
It's that time of year again. Kids across Kentuckiana starting to head back to school. The first day of class tomorrow for JCPS students.
And WDRB's Kyle Mitchell shows us how families are getting ready tonight.
She grew a little bit over the summer, so we had to get bigger sizes.
Amy Whiter is busy making sure her daughter Autumn is ready for her first day of 3rd grade at Audubon Traditional Elementary School.
I just had doctor's visits and then, just to follow up with, well checks and then getting last minute couple of uniforms for her.
She was just one of many parents to pass through Shaheen's department store the night before the first day of school for JCPS.
It's been busy all day. We're used to it. We've been doing this for a long time, so we try to get geared up the best we can.
And business isn't slowing down.
It's been up a little bit from last year, and last year was up from the previous year.
While some parents and students aren't ready to let go of summer.
I'm still ready for summer.
I'm ready for school.
She is ready for school.
Autumn wanted to go back early. And her mom says she has everything she needs to get back to class.
We have a supply list that we have to go by and certain requirements that they need, and we've already gone there and done that.
Even if getting ready for the first day is a lot of work, Amy says it'll be good to have her kids back in class.
Just get back into the routine of school.
Back into the swing of things. That was Kyle Mitchell reporting. If you have any busing questions, you can call 485-RIDE. 485-RIDE starting at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
And while JCPS heads back to class tomorrow, students at one school in Bullitt County will have a few extra days off. The district has announced that Maryville Elementary is having plumbing problems and needs some extra time to get things fixed. The district says as of now, Maryville Elementary will open next Monday.
An education, a place to live, and a job. The local company offering all of that for free.
Plus, was it a threat on a politician's life or just another bid at getting more votes? Donald Trump's latest comments that had the attention of the Secret Service.
134 accidents in 9 months at this southern Indiana roundabout. INDOT's plans to make things better.
There's always a bad guy involved in every police shooting. But those who invariably assume it's the cop are ignoring the facts. That's what I'll be discussing coming up on Point of View.
Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump is suggesting that people who support gun rights could act against Hillary Clinton. He made the statement during a campaign stop this afternoon. Listen.
Hillary wants to essentially abolish the Second Amendment. By the way, and if she gets to pick her judges, nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, that will be a horrible day.
Well, now people in both parties are debating whether Trump was threatening Clinton's life or just calling for increased political activity from gun supporters. The Clinton campaign released a statement saying that a person seeking to be president of the United States should not suggest violence in any way. And Trump's camp says he was talking about Second Amendment supporters and their large influence as a group in voting for him.
Meantime, another issue the Clinton campaign is dealing with tonight, a lawsuit filed by the parents of 2 men killed in the Benghazi terror attack. As Kristen Fisher reports, they say the 2012 attack was caused by Clinton's mishandling of government secrets.
Patricia Smith, the mother of Sean Smith, is taking the claims that she made at the Republican National Convention to court.
I blame Hillary Clinton personally for the death of my son. That's personally.
Smith and Charles Woods, the father of Tyrone Woods, are now suing Clinton on 2 fronts, wrongful death and defamation. They claim their son's death was a direct result of Clinton's extreme carelessness in handling confidential and classified information. They argue Clinton's use of a private email server compromised the location of Ambassador Chris Stevens and led Islamic terrorists to their sons. Chris Peranto, who was there that night in Benghazi, is now praising both parents for pushing back.
I think it's a good thing. They are standing up. The system has failed them. The system that was supposed to protect them, supposed to keep people accountable, is not.
But Fox News' senior judicial analyst, Judge Andrew Napolitano, says the lawsuit likely won't stand up in court.
That might be a logical argument, but it's probably going to fall legally because of immunity.
The lawsuit also accuses Clinton of defaming both parents by either directly calling them liars or by strongly implying that they're liars in order to protect and enhance her public image. For evidence, court documents point to a recent interview on Fox News Sunday in which Clinton disputed both parents' claims that she'd initially told them the attack was caused by a YouTube video, not terrorism.
I don't hold any ill feeling for someone who, in that moment, may not fully recall everything that was or wasn't said.
The Clinton campaign is responding with a statement. It reads, quote, "While no one can imagine the pain of the families, there have been 9 different investigations into this attack, and none found any evidence whatsoever of any wrongdoing on the part of Hillary Clinton."
So they're going to claim that this is just more of the same, especially since the parents' attorney, Larry Klayman, has a long history of being critical of the Clintons and has filed multiple lawsuits against them. In Washington, Kristen Fisher, Fox News.
Another update to our WDRB News Alert tonight. Police investigating after 4 people are shot in West Louisville.
This happened just before 10 o'clock tonight in the Parkland neighborhood, and WDRB's Kyle Mitchell just arrived on scene. Joins us now with what police are telling us so far. Kyle?
And we just pulled up on scene here. We are at 26th and Kentucky. In that area, you can see police throughout the area. A lot of neighbors out right now trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Here's what we know. According to Metro Safe, at least 4 people have been shot. We're working to get additional information. This is in the Parkland neighborhood, right near 26th and Kentucky. According to Metro Safe, 26 people shot. We saw the helicopter flying overhead. I can see it from my vantage point right now. Just a lot of police. A lot of police tape, still a very active scene out here, and we'll have more and we'll bring it to you live once we get a few more things confirmed. Reporting live, Kyle Mitchell, WDRB News.
All right, Kyle live at the scene where 4 people have been shot in West Louisville tonight. We'll have more from him as soon as we get it. $7 million in the pockets of cell phone customers. Which carrier is paying out the massive amount?
A job, an education, and a place to live. This sweet deal UPS is offering its employees and how to apply.
This is an interesting week. I think we're going to see some rain and thunderstorms as we go through the rest of the week, and I'll talk about when to expect them. It's also going to be hot when heat index values go into the upper 90s next.
Another update to our WDRB News Alert tonight. Police investigating after 4 people are shot in West Louisville.
We want to show you again, this is a live picture of the scene. This is happening along West Kentucky Street near Garland Avenue in the Parkland neighborhood. This is what we know. Metro Safe tells us there are at least 4 victims in this shooting. We do not know how serious their injuries are or what exactly led up to the violence. As these things go, we are waiting. Our crew at the scene is waiting for an update from LMPD. We know they have a police helicopter in the air. As soon as we get any more updates from police, we will be sure to pass those updates along to you.
Mark Weinberg's WDRB weather forecast has the seal of approval from the American Meteorological Society.
One of the great things about rain, in particular during the summer, is a lot of times you'll have sun near the rain and you'll get this rainbow. This picture sent out of PRP, and let me show you something here interesting. If you look closely, you'll notice what look like white streaks right where the rainbow is. So what is that? That's actually the rain. This is a rain shaft here. So it was rather interesting that you could actually resolve that in that picture. This from Danny Smith. You can see when you get on the inside of a rainbow where the purples look like there's multiple different tiers of purple, we refer to those as supernumerary bows. That was a great picture. And of course, in the summer of shelf clouds, we got another shelf cloud that was moving across the area out of Fisherville. This has been the summer we have seen shelf cloud after shelf cloud after shelf cloud. As we look now, rain's dying as we go towards Seymour, and these are diurnal thunderstorms. It means that the storms need the heat of the afternoon, which is gone. So these are in the decaying stage near Mitchell. One of the few areas where the storms are still doing good is Du Bois County. Huntingburg, you're going to see good solid rain. Just off to the northeast of Jasper rain. This is really, really quickly winding down, and the southern part of our area, Lebanon. Still a couple lightning strikes, still some downpours on the table here. Everything drifting to the north. Quite frankly, this is not the show. The show is to the south. This is producing obscene rainfall along the coast of Florida. And some areas have caught close to 9 inches of rain. This is going to be a big player in our future, and this is what opens up potential for flooding rain. 81 degrees right now. We're looking at a dew point of 73, and simply put, it's sticky outside. Again, it's been sticky all summer. 79 from Austin, 78 Lanesville, 73 for you in Shelbyville. You're 75 in Campbellsville, and the dew points. Remember, when they're above 70, it's sticky. When they're above 75, it is oppressive. And look at this. Almost everybody is above 75, so it's oppressive. Advanced track shows showers, thunderstorms wind down in the next hour or two. By tomorrow morning, it's quiet. Parents, I think if you live in southern Indiana tomorrow, that's where I would be most prepared for the thunderstorms along, including Louisville and north of the river. But southern Indiana definitely has the better opportunity. It doesn't mean you can't see some in southern Kentucky. It just means fewer. Then as we go towards Wednesday night, they die down. Thursday, less and hot. This is when the heat index values are going to go in the upper 90s. And really what's going to regulate temperatures here for the next few days is coverage for thunderstorms. Tonight, I've lowered it back to a 30%. I don't think Louisville's going to see any. I just want to keep that chance for surrounding areas with a low coming in around 74 to 76. Tomorrow, 40% chance. As mentioned, southern Indiana, I think you're the better opportunity at 91 degrees. So for JCPS back to school tomorrow, the timing for the thunderstorms increases during the afternoon to 30% at 3 p.m. And as we look into the extended, I mentioned mentioned, the regulator will be rain and thunderstorms. Lower chances Thursday, Friday. That's when we're in the 90s. I think parts of our area could exceed 4 inches of rain in the next 7 days. When to expect the heaviest coming up.
In tonight's business news, a job, an education, and a place to live, all debt-free.
Sounds pretty good, right? WDRB's Jessica Bard explains why UPS is offering this package deal to its employees.
Some employees here at UPS say if it wasn't for their job shipping these packages, they wouldn't be able to get a degree.
Logan Newsom is one of those students.
Debt-free, debt-free.
He's getting his associate's degree at JCTC while working at UPS, and he's not paying for much.
That's what you want to do, I guess, as a kid at 19 years old.
Not only is he getting some help with tuition and books, but UPS is now paying for housing, too.
Well, it's awesome because it covers $325 a month. So that's $325 a month that, I'm saving.
It's part of a new deal with UPS because Logan is from out of town in eastern Kentucky. Now that UPS is paying rent, more students across the state are able to take advantage of the education benefits, a program that already existed with UPS.
For those out in the state, housing was really what was missing. A person could have a job and have their tuition paid for, but if they didn't have a place to live, that's a significant barrier.
Logan works at night as a part-time package handler because that's what fits his school schedule.
College students are our target. That's who we really try to recruit because their need for a part-time job, really being part-time, meshes with our needs from an operational standpoint.
I don't come in until about 11:40, 11:45 at night.
And he works until about 3 o'clock.
So I do that. I come home and I sleep till about 10:30 or 11. And then my first class doesn't start until 12 o'clock.
Logan says it's hard work, but it's manageable, and he still has time to focus on his studies.
There's still time to register for the program for this semester. To find out how, just head to our website, WDRB.com. Jessica Bard, WDRB News.
Chemical companies jump after reporting strong earnings, and good news about a pharmaceutical company boosted healthcare stocks today. But a government report showing productivity falling in the second quarter prevented the Dow from making a big gain. It is up just shy of 4 points, closing at 18,533. The Nasdaq gains 12 to finish at 52.25, and that's tonight's business. I want to show you another live picture of the scene here at West Kentucky Street near Garland Avenue. This is in the Parkland neighborhood. MetroSafe telling us there are at least 4 victims in a shooting tonight. We are waiting to get some more information from police. We will have a live report for you coming up at 10:30.
Plus, Matt Bevin has done it again. The boards and commissions Kentucky's governor just abolished. Plus,
I'm not an engineer. I don't do this for a living, but I got some common sense, and I'm going to tell you this was a bad idea.
The changes the state of Indiana is making to a local intersection in hopes of making it safer.
more problems for Delta. Why hundreds of flights were grounded for the second day in a row.
Fern Creek is coming off its likely best football season ever. We'll explain how they're using that as motivation in sports.
And the Mega Millions jackpot for tonight, $38 million. Tomorrow's Powerball, $67 million.
Another update now on our WDRB News Alert. Police investigating after 4 people are shot in the West End.
This happened just before 10 o'clock tonight in the Parkland neighborhood. WDRB's Kyle Mitchell is there and has just gotten some new information from police in these last few minutes. Kyle?
David and Lindsay, I just spoke with LMPD and they're now telling me 4 shot, 2 critical. We just got that from LMPD here on the scene. 4 people shot, 2 critical. We haven't been able to get any more information about their conditions at this time. We know they've been rushed to the hospital. We are here at 26th and Kentucky. This is in the Parkland neighborhood. Quite a bit of police here. Helicopter flying overhead. Quite an active scene. We're trying to get as much information as we can and bring it to you as soon as we can. Now make sure you stay with WDRB. Coming up at 11, we'll also have more information there as well. Reporting live, Kyle Mitchell, WDRB News.
Thank you, Kyle. Extremely dangerous. That's what Jeffersonville's mayor is calling one of his city's newest intersections.
It's the new roundabout at 265, 62 and Port Road. And as WDRB's Chris Suter explains, INDOT is now working on a solution.
If you live in Jeffersonville, you've been through the roundabout at 265, 62 and Port Road. You probably also have an opinion on it. It's a hot button issue here.
The cars coming off the ramp, they don't stop. They keep going. They don't even yield like they should yield.
I've heard lots of complaints, but I've had no problem.
I was almost hit by somebody that came off of 265 the other day because they just don't pay any attention.
It's dangerous.
Jeffersonville's mayor is speaking his mind on the intersection.
I think they've created a very dangerous roadway here.
And he's not afraid to drive home the point.
I'm not an engineer. I don't do this for a living. But I got some common sense, and I'm going to tell you this was a bad idea.
There is no doubt about it. Confusion exists at this Southern Indiana roundabout. From September of 2015 to May of 2016, there were 134 car accidents here. But INDOT says it has plans to make things better. After seeing how traffic responded and listening to suggestions like this one,
I like to see a light put up there for the cars coming off the ramp.
The Indiana Department of Transportation is adding new, more clear signs and pavement markings.
These were some improvements that we suggested. In some ways simplify the amount of information that drivers have to process going through this area, and also to make the direction more clear.
INDOT says that should help with the learning curve that's already working itself out among drivers.
It can take up to a year for drivers to get used to a new traffic configuration such as this.
Still, Jeffersonville's mayor says his city doesn't have time to wait.
Well, my question to INDOT is, when do we say, okay, we've studied it enough? Do we wait until that first person has died?
Chris Suter, WDRB News.
LMPD officers arrest 2 men accused of stealing TVs from apartment complexes and fitness centers. Court records say Daviante Jones admitted to stealing the TVs with Corey Rim. Police say the pair then sold them online. Police say the men targeted clubhouses and fitness centers at several area apartment complexes. Today, they pleaded not guilty to burglary charges.
Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin has replaced 3 more boards and commissions. He has now abolished the Kentucky Board of Claims, the Board of Tax Appeals, and the Crime Victims Compensation Fund, which had 8 combined members. His order condenses those into just one 3-member board called the Kentucky Claims Commission. The governor says the move will save the state $350,000 a year. Bevin has abolished and replaced at least 5 other boards and commissions. 3 of those, including the U of L Board of Trustees, are being challenged, though, in court. Meantime, Governor Bevin also giving Kentuckians more time to weigh in on changes to the state's Medicaid program. The state has extended the public comment period from July 22nd until this coming Sunday because of the number of comments submitted. The governor wants to overhaul the way Kentucky handles Medicaid. He says his idea would make the state healthier and get recipients more involved in their health care. Those against it, though, say it's a war on working families. If you'd like to comment, we have a link on our website. Just go to WDRB.com, click on the button.
Well, Zika may be in the news more often right now, but local officials have found signs of another dangerous virus in our area. They say mosquitoes found in the metro area have tested positive for West Nile. The bugs were collected in a trap put up by health department officials. Coming up tonight at 11, which zip code the mosquitoes were found in and how health officials say you can protect your family from West Nile.
All right, tracking some more storms as we get into the first day of school tomorrow.
I think longer range here, the big story is going to be the potential for some flooding rain, and I really think that's on the table here. Before we jump into that, I promised you a nightly reminder, Perseid meteor shower. This is going to be an outburst style event, which means up to 200 meteors per hour. This peaks Thursday night, best viewing 12 a.m., so midnight to 4 a.m. It doesn't mean you can't see it at other times. It just means this is ideal. This is an easy one. You want to look straight overhead. Thursday night into Friday morning. Patty Cooley-Atkins sent this picture here of the sun setting, and you'll notice this little cloud on the back edge. That is referred to as a pileus cloud. This from Marilyn Brooks. Remember when the rays go upward? They're anti-crepuscular, and interestingly enough, she actually got anti and regular crepuscular rays in that picture. And this one showing that same back edge of that thunderstorm. Trace Doty sent this picture in, a very cool picture of the sunset here this evening. Today, 0.03 of an inch. Officially in Louisville, the totals were not that good, but we saw numbers that were very good in some locations. The high spiked briefly from 89 to 91 degrees, low 76 average 89 degrees this time of the year with a low of around 69. And we're currently at 81 with a dew point of 73 and an east-southeast wind 6 miles an hour. Metro got cooled by the rain and thunderstorms we saw earlier, and that precluded a second round from coming through. And you'll notice almost all of our temperatures have cooled, which supports the fact that the thunderstorms are winding down for most of us. There's still a couple in Du Bois County. As we look at the dew points, though, regionally, they're awful. 75 degrees from Nashville, 73 in Atlanta, and this really just confirms the fact that it is going to be steamy for the next couple of days. The complex part of this storm is this sprawling high that goes across the top of this low. The low has access to Gulf moisture. Data suggests it goes to the west and then recurves, and as it does, it will interact with a cold front, which really is going to allow us to wring out the full amount of moisture from this system. The timing is somewhat uncertain within the data. First off, you can see we hit mid-morning. We start to generate some storms tomorrow and then during the afternoon. Along and north of the river, the best chance for Louisville, I put it at around 30%. I'd go 40% for southern Indiana, 20% for the southern part of our area. Most of those are diurnal, meaning they need the heat, so they should go away tomorrow night. As we look towards Thursday, you can see a much hotter afternoon. There is some cloud debris left over, but they should be high clouds as we look for the Perseid meteor shower Thursday night into Friday. And then here comes the front. Here comes the tropical moisture, and it meets here. The timing looks like late Saturday into Sunday, but I got to tell you, there's still been some range within the data in terms of when the heaviest rain falls. I think late Saturday, Sunday, Monday into early Tuesday, but you can see a lot of the data shows the potential for a solid 2+ inches of rain. My opinion is where the heaviest goes is a little uncertain, but I think the heaviest could include 4 to 6 and even 8 inches of rain. So this one is really worth watching. 76 tonight with a 30% chance of a couple of thunderstorms lingering. Tomorrow, 40% chance. Our highs at 91 degrees. As mentioned, southern Indiana is the best chance. We're hot on Thursday and Friday and humid. And I'm going to go with a 60% on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I don't think it rains the entire time, but there's going to be pockets of really heavy rain. And as mentioned, including Louisville, I think we've got a legitimate chance to do 2 to 4 inches of rain.
Something to watch these next few days for sure. Mark, thank you. A federal judge is upholding former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich's 14-year prison term on corruption charges. Today, a judge in Chicago ignored pleas for leniency from Blagojevich's wife and his daughters. His attorneys had asked for a 5-year reduced term. Blagojevich was originally sentenced in 2011. He was convicted for trying to exchange an appointment to President Barack Obama's old U.S. Senate seat for campaign cash.
Delta had to cancel hundreds of flights again today. The company's computer system is still catching up a day after a power outage caused the airline to cancel 1,500 flights. A spokesperson says Delta is still seeing slowness in the system, which is used to check in and board passengers and dispatch planes. Because of that, Delta had to cancel another 500 flights today.
And we want to give you another look here at another update on a shooting that police are investigating tonight. Here's the live picture from West Kentucky Street near Garland Avenue. This all unfolding in the Parkland neighborhood tonight. Police tell us that 4 people have been shot. 2 of the victims right now are in critical condition. We will have a live report from the scene coming up next.
I want to give you one more update to our WDRB News Alert tonight. Police investigating after several people are shot in West Louisville.
This happened again just before 10 o'clock tonight in the Parkland neighborhood. WDRB's Kyle Mitchell is at the scene getting the updates from police as we get them. Kyle?
David and Lindsay, here's another look at what the scene looks like right now. We're in the Parkland neighborhood. And according to LMPD, 4 people have been shot. 2 people are in critical condition. We're still waiting on getting an update on what their condition is right now. But as of just maybe 15 or 20 minutes ago, 2 people were in critical condition. Now, this all happened sometime around 9:30 tonight. Several detectives are out on scene. They're looking at shell casings, and they're trying to piece this all together. We'll have more coming up on WDRB News at 11. Reporting live, Kyle Mitchell, WDRB News.
All right, thank you, Kyle. Tom here now, getting close to actual football games.
Yeah, the high school teams will have final scrimmages this Friday, games that count a week from Friday. Katie George has the story of why Fern Creek is driven to exceed its best ever football season.
You've heard of a pack of wolves. the pride of lions, a murder of crows. Well, we call this a rumble of Dodgers. When you call one, you call them all.
During the Tent event, returning lessees can purchase and get $5,500 total bonus cash on the 2016 Challenger SXT.
Here you go.
Our dog is gonna love camping with us.
Come on, get in. Eric. Come on. Let's do it again. Ready? My turn.
Now, during Toyota's annual clearance event, get any new 2016 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid with 0 for 60 financing. Or lease this RAV4 LE for just $199 a month. Toyota, let's go places.
4x for being one with the water, sand, and the land. For those that let the open air guide them. For inspired style, matched only by what it stands for. So head into your local Jeep dealer and take advantage of summer savings while summer's still here. Jeep Cherokee. It's how we live 4x for summer.
During the Tent event, returning FCA U.S. lessees get $6,500 total cash allowance on the purchase of a 2016 Jeep Cherokee Limited.
Hello, I'm David Weiler, and with 4 local dealerships, you'll find the right vehicle, the right price, and the right financing.
Come see us. We are the Jeff Weiler Automotive family.
The best new cars make the best used cars. And at Jeff Weiler Toyota, the right car for you may be a certified pre-owned Toyota. Through a comprehensive inspection and reconditioning process, they include an enhanced Toyota warranty and qualify for special financing.
A great deal is just minutes away at Jeff Weiler Toyota in Clarksville.
WDRB Sports Page, sponsored by Subway.
If you haven't noticed by now, it's back to school time. And while you're running around preparing for the school year, grab yourself some back-to-school supplies at your nearest Subway restaurant. Right now, choose from one of 7 delicious footlong subs for only $6 or less. Favorites like the sweet onion chicken teriyaki, Italian BMT, turkey breast, and more. Choose from 7 footlong subs for only $6 or less. The Subway Back-to-School Special, now till Labor Day. Subway, fresh is what we do.
Fern Creek was one of the surprise teams in area high school football last season. And they're hoping to ride that momentum into a big 2016, as Katie George reports.
Despite having its best season in school history last year, Fern Creek football is hungrier than ever.
I know what happened last year, the mistakes that we made.
Tiger football made its furthest run ever in the state tournament last season.
A lot of these guys have played with a chip on their shoulder for the past 9 months.
But fell short and never got their shot at the state title.
It was very disappointing to say the least, but then again, I use it every day as a motivating factor to get better.
Fern Creek lost to Bowling Green 21-0 in the semifinals.
We always question, why are we here? Why are we doing this every single day? Well, it's so that Bowling Green doesn't happen again.
Just days away from a new season, the team is constantly reminded of that Friday night back in November.
There's a poster that hangs in the weight room that has a picture of us being defeated by Bowling Green in the background with the score, and it's kind of served as motivation for these guys.
And has a quote on it, and at the end it says, do more. If we do the same thing over and over again, you'll expect the same results. So if that's the case, then we have to do more to be able to exceed, our expectations.
Every time I walk past that sign, it makes me more hungry, like I keep saying hungry, but it makes me more excited to get to that point again.
And that's what they'll try to do. Exceed all odds and make it to the high school's first state championship game. But more importantly, the Tigers want to be a consistent state title contender for years to come.
The goal is state championship, as always, but I want to be able to leave behind something that everyone can remember.
I think any school can have one good football team, and that's what these guys don't want to be. They want to leave their mark that we were a good football program while they were here.
This year, the Tigers say they want the scoreboard to read differently at the end of the season. From Fern Creek High School, Katie George, WDRB Sports.
Thanks, Katie. The Louisville Cardinals starting practice outdoors in the heat and humidity this afternoon, then forced inside for a while because of storms in the area, and finished up back out on the grass. An open practice today for fans who have to like what they see defensively. U of L has big-time depth in the secondary, which is good news for first-year secondary coach Keith Hayward. He says going against the Cards wide receivers makes his squad even better.
We got a good receivers, we got quick guys. We got big guys on the outside. So, I mean, it's really a diverse group. And, I mean, they challenge us. Some plays we stay in and they rotate, so we're tired, and that's good. That's good training for us.
Well, it's a bit of a chip on our shoulder because we wasn't where we wanted to be last year, and this year's an opportunity for us to really go out there and get after it and be dominant. It's going to take a lot of hard work and trust within each other and just come out here and practice and be ready for anything.
Lily King did not take the typical route to Olympic stardom, as Eric Crawford tells us on the sports page.
The road that 19-year-old Indiana University sophomore Lily King took to an Olympic gold medal in the 100-meter backstroke is not the road they lay out for you in the swim establishment. You're supposed to be identified at an early age, get pipelined into a powerhouse swim club, and work your way up. By the time you're 10, everybody knows your name. You're not supposed to go to the little club near home, the Newburgh Sea Creatures, just a couple hours down the road from us in Newburgh, Indiana. You don't volunteer to be the club's mascot when they need one, making a costume and cheering for your teammates. You're not supposed to train at a plain old city pool like Lloyd Pool in Evansville, because state high school rules require you to train with your school team 3 months a year. You're not supposed to work out alongside a master swim club with people decades older. And once you've gone through all that to reach the improbable Olympic stage, you're not supposed to taunt your chief Russian competitor, Yulia Efimova, wagging your finger at the TV screen when you see her holding up an index finger after a semifinal win. You're certainly not supposed to do it again after winning your own semifinal, then criticize your opponent for drug suspensions in her past on national television. Oh yeah, you're not supposed to call out anyone for doping. That just isn't done. But Lily King came to the Olympics squeaky clean, then proceeded to clean up. It took someone like her with apparently no fear to call out the Russians and even other Americans for using performance-enhancing drugs. Lily King didn't need to do those things to be an Olympic hero. But because she said those things, she'll be remembered long after other moments from these Rio Olympics have faded. Tired of PED abuse clouding the waters of her sport, King decided to make waves. And when she pounded a fist into Efimova's lane after winning by more than a half second in Olympic record time, she struck a blow for the frustration of clean athletes everywhere. Eric Crawford, WDRB Sports.
The Bats gave up just 3 hits, but managed only 3 hits, and they fall 2-0 at Charlotte. The Reds lead St. Louis 7-4 in the 8th. Stay tuned. The news at 11 is coming up now.
The big one is coming. Saturday, September 24th. WDRB's Thunder into Louisville Patriot Ride starts at Harley-Davidson, Louisville, and ends at Expo 5.
We walk through the fire.
You ready for this?
Bring your kids to Louisville Slugger Field this Sunday for WDRB Kids Day with the Louisville Bats. Kids 12 and under enjoy a free kids meal, play on the giant inflatables, and can even come down onto the field after the game and take a lap around the bases. It's WDRB Kids Day with the Bats.
Bluegrass Cellular brings you the neighborly service of a trusted local partner, along with a powerful nationwide network and industry-leading technology. With faster data speeds and more complete coverage, we keep you connected, here, there, and everywhere. For a limited time, get up to $650 in credit when you switch to Bluegrass Cellular. Just bring in your phone, and we'll give you 3 times its trade-in value, up to $650. Find a store near you at bluegrasscellular.com. Bluegrass Cellular, your community expanded.
I'm John Walsh, and this is Louisville's Most Wanted.
Louisville police are looking for Dennis Weeks Jr., 2758-164, wanted for receiving stolen property, and Marquise Robinson Smith, 1858-135, wanted for receiving stolen property, leaving the scene of an accident with failure to render aid, tampering with physical evidence, criminal mischief, theft by unlawful taking, and criminal trespassing.
Anyone having information on any of these cases is asked to call the Louisville Metro Police Department.
Sheet vinyl flooring by Mohawk is beautiful, durable, and easy to install. The Strike collection in 2 patterns is only 74 cents a square foot. The Force collection in 5 patterns is 84 cents a square foot. Add comfort to your home with Mohawk Carpet. Copper Village Frisee comes in 3 colors, just $119 a square foot. Cascade Sculptured is available in 2 colors, $179 a square foot. Find this and more during Menards Made in the USA sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Next on The Agents of Play. The agents find out that if you play too hard, someone gets hurt. But here's something fun that's always appealing. Put a little play in your day with scratch-offs from the Kentucky Lottery.
Warned to put down his weapon, LMPD says its officer shot a man who did not appear to comply. The very different story from witnesses.
They just shot him. They just shot him. They just shot him.
Some of us could see up to 4 inches of rain this weekend. I think flooding is going to become an issue. Which days the storms are most likely? Up next.
Compassion in the courtroom.
Making a temporary exception right in front of me on the record so that you can meet this baby. This is your son.
WDRB talks to the Louisville judge who made international headlines by letting a new father meet his son. Why she defied one of her own rulings.
And Dopey gets the drop on Goofy, the misstep that was a showstopper.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. I'm David Scott.
And I'm Adrienne.